So you want to drive HGVs, but naturally you want to get your license quickly. In this series of videos I'm going to be showing you how I passed my theory test for just under £120 and in less than 2 weeks. So then, where do we start? Well, first of all, you need to order yourself a D2 and a D4 form from the DVLA website. So what the hell is a D4 form? Well, the D4 form is a form you need to complete before booking your medical, and effectively just asks you if you've got any long-term illnesses, eyesight problems, high blood pressure and so on. There are hundreds of private practices, meaning that you can book a test without having to wait weeks and weeks for your GP. I booked one locally and it cost me just £50 and they had lots of unfulfilled slots. During your medical, the tester will complete your D4 form, sign it and give it back to you. You'll then need to send this, your licence and a D2 form to the DVLA to receive your provisional HGV licence entitlement. Now that you've received your licence back from DVLA, you're ready to book your theory test. There are essentially two parts to this. Part 1A, which is a multiple choice, which is £26, and Part 1B, which is hazard perception, for just £11. You can book these through the Gov website, and generally speaking you can get a test slot within the first 1 or 2 weeks. One of my biggest frustrations when booking these two tests were the fact that you can't book them together. So that means you'll have to flick backwards and forwards between the two test dates to try and get one that follows the other. Otherwise you could end up doing the tests on 2 separate days, which is a major ball ache. Now that you've booked your test, you've got to do some revision. I left myself just 1 day to revise for each test, and so I purchased the official hazard perception DVD and the official DVLA theory test DVD at a total cost of £16 and £12 respectively. Bargain. So this is the hazard perception DVD loaded up onto my PC. My personal way of revising for this test was just to keep taking the test over and over again. There are 14 clips on the DVD to watch, each with one developing hazard that you're marked on. In the real test, there will be 19 clips but with 20 hazards, so one of the clips will have 2 hazards. And these clips, as I found, were not exactly the same as the ones that are in the DVD, so don't expect them to be. For each clip, you're asked to click just once when you see a hazard developing, and again if it requires you to take any action. So here's an example of a clip. So there you can see my first click as I see the truck about to pull out. I click again to say that the truck has pulled out, and another one to say that I'm about to brake. Now your score is based on your reactance to the hazard that's developing, from 5 down to 1 as you get closer to the hazard. So what happens if you click too many times or you click rhythmically? Well, this is what happens. You get no score, so you need to be careful that you're only clicking on the hazards and when you need to take action. So now let's have a look at the multiple choice. This is the DVD preloaded onto my computer, and as you can see there are several options. You can take a mock test or you can choose to study. Well, I learned through doing, and so I just jumped straight into the test, but you might want to do some of the revision. The mock test consists of 100 multiple choice questions and you have 2 hours to do it, but realistically you could probably get through it in about 15 to 20 minutes. The pass mark for multiple choice is 85 out of 100, and to achieve that I just kept taking test after test until I averaged over 85 for 5 tests in a row. One thing I found particularly useful was the ability to flag a question. So each time I answered a question that I wasn't sure of, I flagged it so that when you get to the end you can go back and review all the questions you weren't sure about and make sure that you then revise up on those specific topics. The easiest way of not making the same mistake twice is to scroll back through your test at the end and review the answers to the questions that you failed on. So that's my best advice on how to pass the test and how much it costs. It cost me £125 in total, and it took me a total of 2 weeks to get it done. At the end of each test you'll get a pass notification and your certificate will get posted to you within 2 to 3 days, allowing you then to go on and book your category 1 or 2 licence tests. I really hope this has been useful. I had to learn all that stuff by myself, so it'd be really great if you could, share and leave any comments below about how you've got on. It'd be great to know whether you found the video useful. Thanks again.